Welcome already to another edition of WCW 2006 here in TEW 2020, as we're continuing on the road to WCW Sacrifice, and it's start of a new year in real life. So I basically took the holidays off because nobody not enough views anyway. I mean, not that it really matters as far as I go, but do what you can. Not a big deal. But one thing before we get started on the show is either I'll be adding this to the show or on Monday is I'm going to try to post the first sort of basically in-game version of the Wrestling Observer. Obviously not going to be long as the actual Observer, and I'll probably still avoid direct spoilers for WCW stuff. But I think it'll be a fun little thing to look over the sort of overview of the game world, and do that fun stuff. And we'll see how people enjoy it. It'll probably be like I said, put up as a PDF link, just because that's either a text link, and I'm obviously not going to piece lots of words as just a message in the community tab. But anyway, let's get on with it as we're in beautiful Ohio for Nitro, and we start off with Brother Ray Eddy Guerrero kicking the shit out of each other. This is literally just we start off and Jim Ross says, by God, these two men have been going after each other for a couple minutes now, and they're going to their absolute war, even though they're set for a main event in an Ohio street fight right here in Toledo, Ohio, and they're just battling all over. And that's sort of how the show starts, punching, battling, through to the outside, against the ring apron, through, over the ring, over the timekeeper's table, going after each other before the officials come out and start breaking them apart, going after each other, sort of being held back as, the announcers put over. These two men absolutely hate each other, and will be facing off in a no-holds-barred street fight in tonight's main event. So let's get to 97 to start things off really hot as we move forward to our actual opening match, which is Maverick Chance, our WCW Cruiserweight champion, coming out on his, little motocross bike. That's sort of his interest, as he comes out, does a little hop, jump off a little ramp on a motocross bike. He takes off the helmet, gets here to the crowd, has Cruiserweight champion, and he comes out, has a non-title match against Jerry Lynn. Jerry Lynn's basically a jobber to the stars now, as he's, I have him on a non-written contract, so he's out doing indie work, and he comes here and basically, gets a little bit of hope spots in, but eventually just gets the big one here, takes the loss here to the Cruiserweight champion, Maverick Chance, in a little over 6 minutes. Maverick gets a 63, Jerry Lynn gets a 42, and we don't get the what's what I'm looking for here? The badly, no popularity warning, because Maverick Chance is actually recognizable. Yes, I've actually made a cruiserweight recognizable. Helps to have a really good gimmick, I guess. Anyway, this gets a 57, good stuff, and post-match, Maverick Chance takes the mic, and here's a problem, he can't talk. He's not great. I mean, it's Matt Cross, he never really could talk. And he basically says, he's cruiserweight champion, and at Super Brawl, he proved he deserved to be champion, but he found reckless use right in that ring. Now, he wants a new competition here on Nitro. So next week, he's issuing an open challenge to anybody who wants to come out of the ring. And whoever comes out will compete in a big match. And whoever gets the pin in that all-comers match will get a title shot at Sacrifice. So straightforward, setting up a big match, multi-man singles match next week for Nitro, as this gets a 40. Good stuff. And then we cut backstage, and basically, Booker T and Shelton Benjamin, your WCW Tag Team Champions, are backstage talking to somebody backstage, maybe a ref, maybe a random backstage person. But in comes the chosen few of Jeff Jarrett and Simply Johnny Devine. And, Jeff Jarrett comes and says, well, isn't the slap nuts I wanted to see? See, last week on Nitro, I got the win. I remind everybody why I'm the chosen one. And that means one thing, Booker. Me and Johnny deserve a shot at those tag team titles. We already proved we can beat you in that ring, so we want to do it and take that gold in the hands of those who deserve it, the chosen few. Booker T fires back, Jeff, you really think one gets you a title shot at these? You got to earn it, and that's real talk. But if you want a chance, maybe you can go against a real tag team and actually prove you just get a couple lucky shots in. And Devine says, look, Jeff Jarrett has made the star here, and together we can kick your ass anytime. Especially you old man, and you think you're special because you wrestled in the NCAAs. Well, I fought on the tough road of life, and that's why I'm simply Johnny Devine. And Shelton's ready for a fight, and Booker's like, Sucker, you better shut up your man, because if not, I'm going to take him out, And then Jeff, you're reminded, well, I'm a six-time world champion, and people actually remember my reigns. And we have a little stare down, and in comes Eric Bischoff. And he says, wait, hold on. Now, Jeff, I appreciate your initiative, and it's true. You did get the pinfall over one half of the tag team champions last week, but one win does not lead you to a title shot. You and Johnny need to prove you're a qualified tag team before you can actually get near a title shot. But now I understand you don't want to jump through a bunch of troops, win match over match. So there's a tag team, former tag team champions, itching for a fight, who've been off the field for a little bit. And they want to get in that ring tonight against somebody. So it's pretty simple. If you beat them, then I'm sure Booker and Shelton will be happy to give you the title shot at Sacrifice. And then in comes America's Most Wanted. So there we go. Divine and Jarrett chosen to take on America's Wanted later on Nitro, as it gets an 82. Solid stuff. Unfortunately, Divine didn't do well script, and yeah, Divine is not the best out of these guys. The Stormhunter just basically came in at the end of the promo, and there you go. And then we cut backstage as Matt Sydal, is basically being asked about Jeremy Bradshaw being the new TV champion, and he's about to start his promo talking about he's glad that he's the Sullivan champion. He's going to be proud to wear that title. When he walks Jamie Noble, and he says, "It's a disgrace. You know it, and I know it. That if your new big brother Ray Mysterio Jr. hadn't shown up, I would have made you tap out Sydal. So why don't you get down to that ring? I can take my TV title back from you." And then in walks Ray Mysterio Jr. Ray Jr. kind of says, "Look, Sydal won the title. You don't have to like it, but that's the way it is. But if you're mad about it, if you're mad at the fact that you couldn't keep your eyes on the man you're competing with instead of against me on the outside, then I'm happy to get in that ring and kick your ass again, Jamie." Jamie's like, "Remember, right, last time you got in the ring, I kicked your ass and kept my TV title." And Ray's like, "Well, next time there's going to be a 10 minutes time limit." And they stare down before Jamie, realizes it's 2-on-1 and walks away saying, and it's like a bit of a feud continuing here as this gets a 67. Solid stuff. Unfortunately, Sydal's not that great on the mic, but what can you do? And then cut backstage, and we're back at the catering, part of the backstage area. And Brother Ray and Eddie Guerrero are fighting again, and they go over the catering table. Whichever one wants to take a bump through some pie, does that. We get a little bit of a food fight, then more punching before the officials show up again, and sort of like pull them apart, as they just want to go after each other and kill each other, as this gets an 84. And then we have another match, as in her second match here, Penny Grable, who, if you don't remember, is, basically playing the 50s style wrestler, the old, tights, singlet, the whole thing. And she faces local competition here, and she gets the big win here in a little over 3 minutes by, after she does some, very, very simple wrestling moves, the sort of hair pull, not hair pull, hair toss, a takeover, stuff like that, before she hits a few more bigger moves, and then hits the Chaos Theory, which she renamed Gender Roll, and gets the pin here in a little over 4 minutes. This gets a 36. Penny Grable gets a 61. Our local talent here gets a 25. And, she's still getting some mixed response because the crowd still isn't 100% sure what she's all about. But she's about to change that as she takes the mic and she says, "Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I've shown what true women's wrestling is all about. Tradition, respect, class, something sorely missing in all of today's professional wrestling. I'm here to bring that dignity to women's wrestling back to the good old days when women could main event on their skill and grace, not how they parade themselves for all you inconsiderate, backwards degenerates." Boo. I look in the women in the back, and all I see are supposed athletes who have forgotten the roots of the sport. They're more interested in showing out for the crowd than honoring the tradition of women's wrestling. More boos, as this might make sense she would get booed because it's 2006, but this makes more sense, up north or in an earlier, version of WCW. But as she starts to speak again, Celine Cartier's music hits, and to a big pop, she comes down to the ring and faces off against Penny Grable. And she says, "Penny, I've been hearing you talk the last couple weeks, and then your promo built as you're building yourself up to show up in WCW. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of you ranting about the good old days. See, women like myself, Trisha Sky, Angel Fox, and even Joanie Laurer and Gail Kim have worked tirelessly to bring women's wrestling to the best place it's been in decades. Indeed, with no thanks to some of the women of your era. We've been in big matches, ladder matches, main events. We've stolen the spotlight, and we done it by being ourselves. Strong, skilled, and fearless. So, we don't need to step back in time to prove our worth. We prove it every time we step in that ring, Penny. And Penny fires back. You're not about to respect. Now you built it. But look at this crowd. They don't care about you wrestling the ring. They care about you in tight clothes and nothing else. I will beat you down, and I'll show you degenerates what true women's wrestling is all about. And if you want to fight me, that's fine. But we'll see if you can back up those words when faced with the real lady of the wrestling ring. And we're going to stare down, and looks like we got a big good food here as this gets a 70. Fun stuff. And then we have another backstage segment, as this time, instead of a dilapidated house, we're now in a dilapidated classroom. Sort of looks like more like, like a one-room schoolroom, lots of chairs, and like a sort of like film strip starting, as Jonathan Toro is at a dusty old desk, even more disturbed than he was the previous week. And, the film strip projector starts up and showcases his rise, being Johnny Stromboli, then his journey to Italy, discovery of his roots, transformation into Jonathan Toro, creation of the Roman Empire, all the way up to his US champion win. And then we hear the same female voice, which again, you can see what it is, and it says, Jonathan Toro, remember those moments. Your rise was meteoric, your power was undeniable, you had the world at your feet. A true emperor among your mortals. What happened, Jonathan? Where did a gladiator lose his way? And then it shows Toro's fall, the loss in gladiator match against Sean O'Hare, followed by a series of defeats, being gone. And, then the voice continues, look closely, Toro. When is your downfall? Each defeat, a blow to the empire you thought you so carefully built. Your dream of being a ruler shattered. But was that ever your true calling, Jonathan? You were never meant to rule, Toro. Your destiny not to rule, but to destroy. To be an implement. To be an instrument of devastation. For someone who truly understands the art of ripping and tearing those who stand in our way. Of true psychological warfare and destruction. And then the film strip ends, and the voice continues. If you must embrace this path, you must accept your place. Let go of your dream of empire. Your shattered landscape. But there's a new beginning. A chance to be reborn as an implement of destruction. And Toro, sort of like trying to avoid falling and says, so that's my place, to be a mere pawn in someone else's game. And the voice continues, not a pawn, Jonathan. As the voice, as we see the face and shocker, it's Morgan of the Nest. Wow. But a warrior unleashed, free from the burdens of leadership. Focused solely on the thrill of battle, the ecstasy of victory. The blood in your mouth, the tearing of skin. Under the guidance of the Nest, you rise again, more formal than ever before. But you must be willing to accept your new role. That sort of ends as we see Toro in a flickering right, and this gets a 51. Again, you either like this wacky stuff or you don't. And then we cut backstage, and then flirt. Okay, I mean he just used one of his many catchphrases, but this is I go for basically went over it. This is Flair, saying he's been in wars. The Freebirds, Sting, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes, the NWO, Hulk Hogan. I've seen them all. Those have been wars. Raven, you're a freak. You think you're going to be the one that stops me? You think you're going to be the one who stops an all-American badass like Buster Lashley? You think you're going to stop A man who knows 5 languages and can wrestle anybody into pretzels? No, because I'm still a kiss-stealing, limo-riding, jet-flying son of a gun. And these are still the evolution of tag team wrestling. So if that's what you want a war, then you got one. Woo! 67 solid stuff as we continue here on Nitro. And then we cut backstage as Eric Bischoff is in his office. And in comes Alex Wright, and, he walks in and, Eric Bischoff basically, looks up to, basically asks what do you want. And, Wright says, Eric, as you know, I've earned my shot at the WCW World Championship at Sacrifice. But I'm not one to sit back and wait. I'm to stay sharp. I want true competition right here next week on Nitro. To show these audiences, these fans in the audience, who still believe so deeply that AJ Styles will be the hero and defeat me at Sacrifice. But I need to show them and AJ what awaits them in just a few weeks. I want a match that pushes my limits, so AJ can see how beyond his limits I am. So I was like, Alex, look, I understand you're trying to prove yourself. You made a statement the last few months, and you're no doubt about the number one contender. As far as your request for a match next week, I believe that can be arranged. Nitro is full of talent itching for a chance to prove themselves, just like you. And hell, who knows? Maybe it'll be something even beyond Nitro who wants to have a chance at Death's Wonder Bar. Rex Moore says, it doesn't matter who it is. Someone on Nitro, someone from another company, a legend, a rookie. Whoever gets in this ring, I will show why I'm Death's Wonder Bar. I'll be a preview of just little what's in store for AJ Styles at Sacrifice. I'm at the top of my game. At Sacrifice, I will rise to the top of this business. Bishop smirks, well, I'm looking forward to it, Alex. And Wright says, I will not disappoint. There we go. 97, basically setting up Alex Wright. Not exactly versus a mystery competitor, but versus, competition next week on Nitro. When that competition will be, who knows? Including myself. And then we have what was set up last week as a number one contendership for the US title. As, the Truth was sort of set up as the next contender, but Titus Tomko challenged him. And, the Truth, says he'd be willing to put up, a shot at the US title to get, a match against Tomko after Tomko pinned him at the last pay-per-view as he was teamed with Ken Anderson against Tank Tolan. But what happens here is they're having the match, and honestly, not much has happened. It's the very beginning of the match. Truth has gotten some few punches in. Tomko uses power. When down comes the ramp is Brother Ray and Eddie Guerrero, and they just get in the ring and they just start battling. And Truth and Tomko are sort of just in the way. And Brother Ray hits Tomko, but Eddie is going after the Truth to sort of get him out of the way. And then it's a 4-way brawl, and the ref calls for the bell, and this is a no contest. As this gets a little bit over 5 minutes, and this gets a 66. Truth gets an 80, Tomko gets a 60, and that's about it. But the fight continues with Truth and Tomko getting involved before the officials sort of break things apart. And I assume there'll be a rematch because it's not either Tomko's or Truth's fault that this match didn't happen. And we still don't have a contender for the US title for Sacrifice. As this gets a 78. And then we have a quick sort of we see somebody rushing up to the camera and saying, hey, follow me. And it's just random backstage worker, maybe, I don't know, maybe one of our lower road agents, or, who knows. Pick your poison. And then we find the Chosen Few's locker room, and we see Stacy Keibler leaving it. And that's all we see for a quick minute segment, which gets a 60. And then we have Joanie Laurer killing Ariel Amore, aka the former Ariel, who unfortunately I don't have much for her to do at the moment. So she's sort of the face, she's sort of the heel driver to the stars, as Laurer kills her with the powerbomb in 4 minutes. This gets a 67, Joanie gets a 72, Ariel gets a 48, not bad, but just a complete squash. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a complete destruction. And Laurer texts Mike and she says, Nikita, I heard what you said last week, and I've been thinking about it. And in a way, you're right. You see, you are the top of the food train right here in WCW, and I can't deny that. You beat Trisha for the title. You survived the four-way ladder match, and you've been very, very successful. But you forgot one thing. You have not been facing the true top of the food chain, the true next evolution of women's wrestling. Because you see Joanie, you see Nikita, I've been distracted. I was battling with Gail and Alli Danger, and I was more focused on going after Gail Kim in that ladder match and trying to win the world title. But that's over. I'm back. I'm refreshed. I'm back at 100%. And at Sacrifice, I'm going to take that women's world title and remind everybody why I was the dominant force in this division for so long. 81, again, not bad, only a 4-minute promo, good stuff. And then we have the announcer saying the segment was from earlier today, and we're showing it now. Once we got the okay from Trisha Sky, who is still recovering, and basically Trisha Sky is just backstage stuff, and Captivation shows up and just kicks the absolute shit out of her, just throws her into the random backstage area, against in that loading area, one of those pull down metal doors, and is just beating the crap out of her, just screaming, saying, "You thought this was over? This is never over." And before those officials finally show up, and they run off, and Trisha Sky is getting medical support, and the announcer is put over that Trisha Sky was taken to a local medical facility, and she will recover. But obviously, Captivation just showed it is not over with them at all. 65, good stuff. As that feud is not over quite yet. And then we have a banger, which honestly might be better than the main event. It depends. This is a very good match. It's Jeff Jarrett, it's Divine, who has slowly been built into a solid, upper mid-card guy, and Miracles is wanted. But, this is just, 4 really good wrestlers going after each other. Divine flying around doing heel stick, AEW doing their tag stuff, Jeff Jarrett doing his Southern style brawling and his heel stuff. But eventually, Jarrett, it looks like AEW are going to get the big win. And they even hit a death sentence on Divine, but Jarrett comes in and makes the save at the last possible second. Things are a scramble. The ref is trying to keep, stop Jarrett and Harris from brawling on the outside. When Kaz slides in from the crowd, comes behind, kicks James Storms right in the back of the head. Divine picks him up, Divine intervention, the ref turns around. 1, 2, 3. 89, really good match, and Jarrett and Divine are off to Sacrifice. Actually, let me just make a couple matches just so I don't forget them. Okay, so yeah. So we got Nikita Kalt versus Joanie Laurer for the Women's World Championship. We have Your Friend and Mine. Oops, this is a tag match. My bad. Shelton, there we go. Taking on Jeff Jarrett and Simply Johnny Divine, not Jeff Hardy. And there we go. Nothing else really of note quite yet. So there you go. 89, like I said, Jarrett gets it. Divine gets a 69. Jarrett gets a 92. Storm gets an 82. Harris gets 72. And Brooke and Shelton show up. And it's a big stare down as the Andrews put over, basically what I just said. At Sacrifice, it'll be these two teams. 69, just a quick little segment. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. And then you have a Revolution recap, focusing, of course, on the big tag team match where Rob Van Dam got the win. And then we have Jeremy Borash catching up with Nikita as they're walking out. And, Borash actually, basically asks them, what's going on. And, Stacey Keebler says, what just happened was a reminder of something that's true all around the world in all kinds of diplomacy. You see, we want our tag titles back, but we recognize it'll take time. But until then, we need allies. But we have no permanent allies and no permanent enemies. Only interests that will get my clients and the Home Office in Japan what they deserve, which is the tag team titles. And if I have to help Jeff Jarrett and Divine get a tag title shot, that's fine. Because you see, I believe my men are the best tag team in the world, and they can defeat anybody. If Burke and Shelton are the tag team champions, that's fine. If it's Jarrett and Divine, that's also fine. Porsche asked about America's Wanted. If there's anything to do with their feud earlier this fall, and Dace Gaber says, I admit there's a bit of revenge there, but it's not about revenge. It's about gold. It's about impressing the home office in Japan, because they allowed me to get back to the top of the manageable business by giving me the backing from Japan and bringing me Nikita. And with them, all things are possible. 84, good promo. And yes, I don't know who got that, but Stacy Keibler just sort of did a Henry Kissinger quote about a tag team feud. Yeah, I'm a dork. 84, good stuff. And then we have a main event with his brother Ray and Eddy Guerrero kicking the crap out of each other for 14 minutes. This is just complete and total, just insanity. Tables, chairs, kendo sticks, just kicking there's no bell. They're just rolling from the back down to the ring, and eventually the bell rings. So, Eddie hits a big chair shot, goes to the top, frog splash, Brother Ray gets out of the way, he hits a big power bomb, Eddie kicks out, fighting, and eventually Eddie goes for a big chair shot of doom on Brother Ray, but Brother Ray gets out of the way, he's able to drop, but then he's able to drill Eddie with a big lariat, then a chair shot, a full Nelson bomb, 1, 2, 3, and a big win here for Brother Ray over a former world champion Eddie Guerrero in the main event of Nitro in an 89. Brother Ray gets a 92, Eddie gets a 94. The show overall gets us a 91. Good stuff. So yeah, really fun show. Pushing forward stuff, building other stuff up. But yeah. And I mean, honestly, I don't want to say it's better, because obviously it would have been better to be on pay-per-view, but sort of be able to do that as sort of a show long angle really helped. But yeah, other than that, we'll just see how this goes here. Let's see here. Gotta love some loading. Scott Parker, he's a guy. Not a very good guy, as far as wrestling's go. I don't know how he is personally. Alright, yeah, Ric Flair's new catchphrase. Let's see here. Male-wise, James Storm. Again, she's a woman James. Let's see here. Yeah, we've basically finished that point behind WWE. Kip James is now New England, sure. Buff Bagwell got a minor concussion. So sad. Let's see what Raw did. Raw, okay, 91. Ooh, really good stuff. Okay, so we had, let's see, Big Show, Inter-Skircho brawling, Richards, Sam and Maven defeat Juice and the Outcasts. Molly Holly and James defeated Beth Phoenix and Chantel Fierce in a cage match in 81. CM Punk defeated Rick Steiner. Vampire defeated Viscera, sure. Big Show defeated Charlie Haas in a squash. Chris Jericho defeated Finley by DQ. I'm guessing DS got involved. Then Shawn Michaels and Skyfall Caleb Lyon, aka A. Paris, defeated DDP and Batista in an 86. And then Austin had sort of a WrestleMania hype video, I'm guessing, as he's retired. So 91, they got a... Oh, they're still in Japan, right? Okay. They really didn't get out of Japan. Oh. Christy, you're injured. That's why you're frustrated. You're not very smart, are you? That's on the game. But yeah, okay. So that's where we're at. I'll be back with Revolution in just a moment. And now it's time for Revolution, live from Fairfax, Virginia. And we start with, the graphic for our big main event of Rob Van Dam versus Sean O'Haire for the number one contendership on Revolution, with AJ Styles as a special referee. But then we go to our opening match of the evening, which is basically Jason Jett and Jack Evans having basically a match. Like, the angle here is Jack Evans, the entrance put over, Jack Evans won the competition after losing to Monty Brown at the last pay-per-view. Right? No, sorry, he did the job too. Oh crap, this is why I double check, but he lost last time he was out here, and he wants to recenter himself, wants to refocus, and Jason and Jett accepted the match. Some kind of Tony Khan booking, just putting out a good match here. But Jett plays a cocky heel. He does his crash landing stuff. But in the end, Jack Evans eventually hits a few big moves and goes up top, hits a 630, and gets the big pinfall victory here to open up Revolution. As this gets an 81, Jack gets a 62 as he's still injured, but he can take the bump still. And Jack Evans gets a 90 because he's freaking great. And good opening match to start things off, and just sort of a one thing I'm doing is putting off matches that are never actually going to happen just for the sake of not doing them. When matches like this is never going to be a real feud. But it's going to be a good match, and I can sort of build people up, so why not do it, because it's not a complete, everybody, knows who's going to win, but still. Anyway, post-match, Evans celebrates, Jett is upset, and, as just put over, Jack Evans is big win here on Revolution, he looks towards the future. And then we have our fun little segment here, as we set to a pre-tape promo, as Sharpe is in a sort of serene, mystical, retreat. Some, how a cult leader's, room looks, and that's what we're doing here. And he's, Keenan Sharpe says, "Welcome to my sanctuary, a place of renewal and enlightenment. Tonight on Revolution, I embark on a new project, a journey with a man who has truly lost his way, Jeff Hardy. You see, Jeff, you're celebrated for your high-flying antics and your daredevil spirit, and your talent in that ring that has used to great success where you have been. Let's ignore the elephant in the room. Your failures, both in and out of this ring. Your missteps, your falls from grace, which is why you are where you are. It's a story we all know too well. But, Jeff, even a troubled soul, even a soul as troubled as yours, can find redemption. Even he can be cleansed and reborn. That is the beauty of walking the path. It's not just for the righteous. Indeed, it is for the fallen, the lost, those who have strayed so far from their potential. Tonight, Jeff, I offer you a start anew to wash away your mistakes of your past. In our match, I will not just be fighting you, I will be guiding you to a better, more enlightened existence. One where your talents are not wasted on cheap thrills and momentary adulation from these fans, but used for a higher purpose. A life free of your demons, a career not marred by regret. This is what I offer to you. This means to walk the path behind me. A journey of transformation, of self-discovery. But you need to acknowledge that you need guidance from me. You need to be led out of the darkness. Let me show you a new way. Let me lead you to a new place where you can realize your true potential, unburdened by your past. I await your decision in this ring." So 83 sort of setting up a match later tonight of Keenan Sharpe taking on Jeff Hardy, and putting Hardy's outside of the ring issues, and Sharpe with his culty heel shtick. And then we cut backstage where we have Tay Long's office and Molly Mayhem, who attacked all that Alyssa Alexander last week, is basically being asked by Tay Long what the hell she did. Mayhem explains, well, she's not a named woman, and she explains she came into WCW, make an impact, and what better way to make an impact than to go after Alyssa Alexander, who's on a real run so far, and she came in here to fight and kick ass and cause some mayhem. Tay Long says, "Okay, that's fine, player, but who the hell are you?" And she says Molly Mayhem, and Tay Long says MOL, and she says no, Molly, MAULIE Mayhem, and that's what I'm here to do, cause some mayhem. So there you go, 59, decent little promo, and sets up a little mini feud between Alexander and Mayhem here on Revolution. And then we hear some interesting Native American music, and out comes, well, we can't say Tatanka on WCW TV, but we can say the Native American legend Chris Chavis, as he does his war dance, and he waits in the ring, and then out comes Monty Brown, who just goes right after him. So yeah, and then Monty Brown kills him in 2 minutes with a bounce. This is a total squash. I just saw him as available as a local worker, and I had to do it. So he just kills him. He gets a 60. Monty gets a 81. Chris Chavis gets a 21 because it's a Tonka in 2006. So there you go. Just a complete squash I put over Monty Brown. And then he takes him and he says, "Every damn time I'm in this ring, I'm prove I'm the alpha male of World Championship Wrestling. I want some true competition, some real damn talent to force me to actually break a sweat. Because so far, nobody that's in this damn ring has forced me to do it. Kenyon, Jack Evans, nobody. I'm the baddest man on the planet. I'm the alpha male of WCW. I'm the king of the Serengeti. And anybody who gets in the ring is going to face the counts. There you go. 80, good intense promo. Money Brown putting over himself as he just dominates another competitor here on Revolution. And then we go backstage where Amy Weber is with AJ Styles, and, she asked him about, being a special referee of the main event between Ace John Hare and Rob Van Dam, now, approaching, especially with a possible future challenger. And, AJ's like, look, it's pretty simple. I'm going there with one goal. Call it right down the middle. I've got no biases, no favorites. I'm the WCW World Champion. I'm the face that runs this place, and I respect what the title means. I'm going to be fair, and whoever wins, I'm ready to face them in the future after I win at Sacrifice. And here's the thing. Paul Heyman, I know you're going to be out there with RVD, and I'm warning you right now, you little piece of slime, stay out of things. It's about finding out who's the best man to face me in the future, and I don't want any shenanigans ruining that. And you want to ask him about Sean O'Hare, future Shock possibly getting another title shot. And, AJ's like, look, Sean's a great competitor, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But let's not forget who the champ is here. Whoever wins tonight, they better be ready to face me. Sean, I beat you already. I'll be happy to face you again if you're the man who wins tonight. But I'm the WCW World Champion. I am phenomenal. And I'm planning out walking out the World Champion, whoever I face in that damn ring. And, so, I'd asked, you're ready for whoever wins tonight. And, AJ says, absolutely, Amy. That's what part of being the champ is all about. You take on all comers, you face the best, and you prove why you're at the top of this damn mountain. Sean O'Hare, Rob Van Dam, I'm not about letting anybody knock me off. Wait away. I worked too hard and sacrificed too much to be here. So if there is, bring it on. I'll be ready. Good little promo, setting up the, main event later tonight, which gets an 82. Good stuff. And then we cut backstage as Jason, Jett, and Cash are backstage, and they, see the Hardys. No, actually, Hardy see, Jett set complaining to a random official backstage, and, Hardy's like, what? You couldn't handle Jack Evans? He's a high flyer, just like us, and you lost to him. And, Jett's like, look, last time we got in the ring with you, 2-on-2, we beat you, and we can do it again. So anytime you're ready, Jeff, Matt, to face the reality of things, and admit that we're on the way up and you're on the way down. Get in that damn ring. And Matt, is ready to fight, but Jeff holds him off, and seems this feud is not quite over as this gets a 68. And then we have our triple threat match that we set up last week as it's, 3 competitors, let's say, who are trying to rise up the rankings. Well, argued about, who should get a chance to prove themselves on WCW TV. And, they agreed to have the triple threat match. And basically, this is a back and forth match. Walker hits some suplexes. Siaki does his, US Pro style stuff. Swinger gets some brawling in. But eventually, Keith Walker actually hits a big, exploder suplex, and he's about to get the pinfall. But Siaki chop blocks him, throws him to the outside. Siaki hits his finisher, shoulder breaker real quick on Swinger, and gets a pinfall victory here, and the big win on Revolution, as this gets a 48, because these guys are super over. Siaki gets a 58. Swinger gets a 50. Walker gets a 44, and as Walker, as Swinger is recovering, Keith Walker comes in and hits him with a big spear. As Walker is recovering outside, Swinger attacks from behind, and they brawl to the back as this gets a 36, as it seems this feud is not quite over between these two men. And then we have an interesting little promo here. As we cut backstage, well, not backstage, we cut to another pre-tape video as we see the Thrillers and, Palumbo's old lady, Raven Rain, at a biker bar, perhaps the biker bar where Palumbo first met Raven Rain, way back almost a year ago, probably at this point. No, over a year ago, right? October, so almost a year. No, over a year, because, he was world champion. So, yeah, over, almost 18 months ago. And, they're, at a table, beer bottles in hand, laughing, slapping each other, as, Palumbo stands up, and raises his beer bottle as the rest of the biker bar raises up. And we see the former Seekers of Sin in the background. Not remarked upon, but they're just there, out of their paint, just work dressed up like bikers, which is interesting. And he says, we're here today to celebrate. We're here to celebrate, to remind everybody, the Thrillers know how to play this game better than anyone else. Kurt Angle, you thought you could step into our world, our ring, and come out on top? Please. You gotta taste what happens when you mess with the big dogs. And Jindrak says, that's right. Angle, you're a great wrestler. Nobody's denying that. But there's a difference between wrestling and fighting. And when it comes to a fight, we're the thrillers, and we know how to get things done. And, Raven says, Angle, I saw you when my boy Chuck, my man Chuck, and Mark beat you down. You see, it's one thing to win a gold medal, but it's another thing to compete with my men, the thrillers. And then, bumps up and then a little more serious thing. And Kurt, let's set the record straight. This is still my revolution. This is still my show. This is my ring. Kurt Angle, you may have won Golden Olympics, but you never held a real world title. One traces his lineage back to Gotch, Dez, and all the rest. But me, I follow a title. I've been at the top of this mountain. And he sort of slams me right down. I've battled and bled for this belt, for that belt. And Kurt, if you think you just walk in and take all the attention, you've got another thing coming. This is an amateur hour. This is WCW, the big leeches, and the thrillers run the show here. And then, Jindrak steps in, a little more goofy. Angle, stick to wrestling singlet and wrestling dream matches against guys on their way down. Because when it comes to fighting in the ring, you're in over your ring, over your head. This is about dominance in and out of this ring, not flashy moves. And, they raise their bottles one more time. The thrillers, the true rulers of Revolution, and at Kurt, better luck next time, if you even dare to step up to us again. So fun little, sort of wacky, sort of serious backstage segment as it gets an 80. Because I rated Jindrak, and Raven. And then we have a quick little, basically minute segment coming as we come back from commercial, as O'Hara's doing some shadow boxing, getting ready for his main event match. And then, we're backstage again, as Teddy Long's in his office, and in walks Billy Kidman, all alone, no manager this time, no April Hunter's valet. And, he walks and says, and Teddy's like, okay, hey, Billy, what do you want? And Kidman says, Teddy, we need to talk right now. I don't even remember this, because it seems to slip your mind from how you treated me, but I won you the #1 pick at the Starrcade. And however you paid me, it's like I'm invisible. You lost Storm over to Nitro. You've given O'Hara every advantage. And I wasn't even part of the wildcard tag match. And now you're backing Kurt Angle over a WCW veteran like me, a former world champion who's been loyal to his company for a decade. And I'm like, wait, hold on, player. I hear what you're saying, but you can understand. I've got a whole roster to manage. Everybody wants a shot on TV, wants TV time, wants pay-per-view matches. It's not about disrespecting you, Kidman. If you feel like you've been overlooked, let us do something about it. And, Kidman's like, okay, Teddy, I get it. You're an important man, you're a busy man. But I want a big time match to prove myself, to remind everybody why I'm a former world champion and why I'm one of the top wrestlers in the world today. And Long, smiles and says, Playa, I think I've just got the thing to put you back in the spotlight. You want a big time match? You got it. Next week on Revolution, you're going one-on-one with the monster, Macias. Big pop as his face drops. And, we do the big heel gulp. And, and Tate continues. I know, it's a tough match, Player, but it's a huge opportunity. You beat Macias, and nobody can question your place in WCW player. You want to prove yourself, and this is your chance. You've been at the top before, and I believe you can do it again. You gotta step up and face the challenge head on, playa. And there we go, big match set for next week, Billy Kidman versus Macias. And this gets an 88, fun stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate. So we have a quick little squash match here, as Gail Kim and Alli Danger, after last week, and not last week, but I think the show before pay-per-view, having some issues, as, there was some miscommunication. They seem back in one piece as a team, as they just run over 2 women up Farm Dev Fed in 4 minutes, as they, Alli Danger just comes and dominates, gets the pin, as this gets a 65, Alli Danger gets a 55, Gail Kim gets an 88, Tracy Taylor 28, Tricia Biggers gets a 23, just a complete squash here, as, just runs them over, and then, they take the mic, and, Gail Kim takes the mic and says, we heard you all the last couple weeks, thinking just because we had some issues, they were going to break up and start fighting each other like a couple of morons. No, you see, Alli Danger understands I'm a multi-time women's champion. And she understands she has lots to teach from me, and she knows my guidance, she can become a top star in WCW. So we're going to get back in the ring, work on you, dominate, and kick the ass of anybody who gets put in our way. He'll respond for that. And then out comes Angel Fox along with Natty Neidhart. And, Angel Fox says, it's interesting, Gail, because you see, we know I've been in the ring with you when we're different women, and I beat you before, and I think I can beat you again. But me and Natty, we're going to be part of the tag division talk as well. So why don't you get in the ring with us and prove if you still have got it together, or if maybe Alli Danger thinks she's already better than you, or you're sick of dragging her along. Big pop for that. And, Gail fires back. You want to try that again, that's fine, but it's not going to work. But hey, if you want a tag match, that's fine. But you know what I want? You're right, Angel. We've tangled before in a different world. But fine, next week, I want you in that ring. And if you beat me, we'll have a tag match with you and your new Canadian buddy. And the winners can get a tag title shot maybe in the future if Teddy agrees. It seems like we got a match set up for next week. A Gail Kim versus Angel Fox match, and then possibly a big tag match as it gets a 67. Fun stuff. And then we have another quick minute segment as Robert is stretching and Heyman is pacing. And then we have a fun promo as we have Amy Weber coming out, basically cutting in saying, she's got word that Kurt Angle is upset about the Throwers' actions. And we cut to Kurt Angle just throwing stuff around the locker room and pacing the room. And, Angle takes Mike and says, I've heard what the Throwers had to say. They think they can get under my skin, talk about how I'm not a real champion because I haven't been WCW World Champion. And I'm just a wrestler and not a fighter and all that other BS. I mean, here's the thing. Shane Helms, Billy Kidman. I don't like them. They may try to cheat in the ring. They may even be kind of assholes. But they stepped in the ring ready to wrestle. They wrestled at the edges, but they understood this is competition. But Palumbo, Jindrak, they think this is all about domination and doing whatever they want to win. But boys, do you really think one cheap post-match attack is going to keep me down? Well, let me remind you exactly who I am. Anybody else out there who's listening. I won an Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck. I faced and defeated some of the best wrestlers in the world and some of the biggest stars in the history of this business. I've proved time and time again that I'm one of the greatest in the history of the sport. So, Chuck, Mark, if I can call you that, if you think you got me figured out, you're sorely mistaken. You want to play dirty? They want to fight? They'll go to the damn fight. They're not the type you're used to. Because sooner or later, Jindrak, Palumbo, are going to be stepping in the ring with a wrestling machine, and I'm going to tear you the hell apart. I don't back down from the challenge. I don't run for a fight. You made a huge mistake, and you have to deal with the consequences. But this is not about revenge. This is about proving a point. Thrillers, you think you're going to keep me down, you better think again. They better stay at their bar and party with their old lady, because next time we're in that ring, it's going to be a whole different story. It's true, it's damn true, that you two are going to find out what it means to be in the ring with Kurt freaking Angle. There we go, really good promo, 96, continuing the feud here. And then, bad rules for announcing and color commentary, that's unfortunate. This should have been a really good match, but is there anything else that got hurt here? Lack of heat. But yeah, just a bad roll. But, I mean, really good match. And, just back and forth match. Hardy is flying around, some selling, Hardy taken down with Jiu-Jitsu and submissions. And, but eventually, Sharpe is, distracts the ref. Cash comes in, drills, Hardy from behind, Hardy outside the ring, rolls him in. Sharpe hits him with a, move and gets the pinfall victory here on Revolution over Jeff Hardy, as again, this gets an 82. Sharpe gets an 88. Jeff Hardy gets a 90. And post-match, of course, the heels celebrate. screwing over Jeff as Jeff looks upset in the ring, as this gets a 70. Then we get our Nitro recap, which also gets a 70. You're focusing on the, Big Brother Ray Eddy Guerrero match. And then we're on to our main event. No, wait. Yes, okay. Oof, what happened here? Hold on. Okay, stamina. Wow. Yeah, we got, okay, so I think people sometimes don't understand this. So you get dinged overall for your announcing commentary, but you also, get dinged if they basically don't meet the moment. Like, let's say you have an 85 match, and you have an announcing that's 80, or color commentator that's 75. It gets rolled whether they actually, hurt the match. Sometimes you do, sometimes it doesn't. I've just had a couple bad rolls here. But anyway, what happens here is, back and forth match. AJ Styles is your referee, and he's... Actually, let me just double check. I don't think... I think the game works it out that unless... Yeah, you're AJ Styles, if you have a special ref, it doesn't affect the match. But anyway, back and forth match, O'Haire does his brawling, fighting, AJ is a down the middle rough, Heyman, tries to get involved, AJ stops him, but, this allows RVD to get some shenanigans in. O'Haire, though, gets a couple big moves, goes for Widowmaker, RVD turns into a DDT, he goes for the 5 frog splash, but O'Haire gets his knees up. Both men are, struggling to get up. Heyman gets on the apron, yells at AJ Styles. AJ walks over, argues with him. It allows RVD to untie the turnbuckle. And O'Haire rushes. RVD ducks. O'Haire splashes the corner. Rolling Thunder. RVD up top. 5-star frog splash. 1, 2, 3. And RVD gets the big win here. As he gets a 95, O'Haire gets a 76. And overall, this unfortunately gets a 78. But post-match, RVD and Heyman leave celebrating. And then, O'Haire gets up and he gets pissed. And, he's yelling at Styles. Styles, tries to explain what happened. O'Haire is still upset, saying, you just didn't want to face me in the ring again. As we hear sort of the hearing that, AJ says, that's not what this is about. You lost. It happens. Get over it. And that causes O'Haire to push him down and walk away to a mixed reaction from the crowd. As this gets an 85, and overall, the show gets us an 85. Good stuff. So yeah, not our best show there. Unfortunately, we had the bad rolls. That could have been probably 89 for Sharpe Hardy, and let's say 86, 87 for Sharpe Hardy, and maybe an 83, 84 for the main event. But hey, what can you do? And yes, there's a reason why the former Seekers of Sin were in the bar. Okay, yay, Revolution. Any mail? Yeah, X-Law is about to go out of business. So, as a quick check-in, storyline-wise, Challenges Everywhere, which is the women's feud, is at a 78. Against the Darkness is at a 61. Captivating Nitro, sort of our undercard women's feud, is at a 68. More Than a Pretty Face, which is sort of the Truth Tomko and Tolan Anderson feud, is at a 76. Never Knoble is at a 74. New Dreams of Gold is at an 83. Pay to Kick is at an 88. Respect Needs to Be Earned is at an 87. The Right Champions at a 91. Returning the Stations starts at a 63. And Opportunities at a 60, which I'll probably just move to the new Cruiserweight feud. Expanding Horizons at a 66. Mind Over Gold is at a 77. Money Men's at a 79. New Effing Shows at a 77. Thrilling Angles at an 89. And Walking Into Wars is at an 84. And it was Monty Brown, Jack Evans. Okay, so I'm not completely wild. So if we go over the WWE, Your Friends and Mine, had SmackDown, and let's see here. Justice defeating Shane's. Wow, Brian Lee's no good. I might just go in and force WWE releasing, because there's no reason why he should be still on the roster getting 22s. That's just bad. Let's see here. We had Rikishi, Hawk, and Animal. Remember, this is Cody Hawk, not Hawk. Defeating the It Crowd of Funaki Halloween to Mark Henry, who are just a bunch of jobbers. The Gladiator defeated John Cena, so that's your match that happened. Scott Steiner defeated Andy Douglas in a squash. Christian defeated Spike Dudley in a friggin' 95. Yeah, see, this is why I don't mind cheating a little, because I cheats. Jackie Gator got a big win over Veronica Vane in a cage match, sure. In the main event, Undertaker and Regal defeated Chris Benoit and Devon Dubois in a cage match, which got a 99. Interesting. So if we go to RDevEd, where are you? NWA Wild Side. I totally lost where you are on the roster. Okay, so let's see here. TV show was after yes it was. Yeah, week 4. Okay. Let's see here. Tony Jones, Matt Morgan, Duarte defeated Michaels, Hernandez, and Danielson. Again, they're getting pretty close. Onyx defeated TJ Perkins, who's another recent signing. Cassie Riley, John Phoenix defeated Kenzo Suzuki. Kenzo's getting 60. He's doing okay. Night of Combat had Cassie Riley defeating Lazarus. Onyx defeating Atsuka, Ryan Drago, Tony Jones, and Kenzo Suzuki defeating Hernandez, Creed, and Perkins. We had Rick Michaels defeat Lance Hoyt. Morgan Durate defeated Brett Major and Kurt Stallings. A battle of some regens and Brett Major and Matt Morgan. And then for the weekly house show, Ray Gordy won the Wildside Heavyweight title. Lazarus Tony Jones defeated Todd Sykes and Cassidy Riley. Suzuki, Morgan Durate defeated Hernandez, Creed, and Perkins. And Todd Bullitt defeated Rick Michaels. So nothing too exciting there. For American Wrestling Queens, they had the weekly show, which had Ashley Lane, Amy Sakura, and Portia Perez defeating Amazing Kong, Josh C, and our region of Annette Blanchard. And yeah, Amy Sakura is really good, but I just have nothing to do for her at the moment. Matt Singles defeated Tracy Taylor. And we had Michelle and Madison Claire defeat Tanisha Bakers and Collar Chambers. Some more regen fun. And then we had Wright. Ladies Night. Okay, I screwed up and made the Queen of the Ring title just to be done at every Queen of the Ring. I just forgot to change that, so we're just sort of ignoring what happened there. So that's that. HWA. Nothing really that stands out here. Sean Daivari versus Excalibur. Matt Striker is still the HWA Heavyweight Champion. So that's that. I don't think OVW is doing... Yeah, OVW had a big show. Riptide versus Daphne was the main event. Trent Baker is still your OVW Heavyweight Champion. Payne and Morrison defeated Cycles of Sin. John Morrison's getting close to the point where maybe he can be brought up. And yeah, we had a battle of regions here. But yeah, that's about nothing too exciting going on there. And these I need to fix and actually just make them forced to have owners, I think. But yeah. But if we look around the wrestling world, all right. So we go back to last week's Revolution, which, okay. I showed you guys, yeah, okay, I totally showed you guys that last week. Noah had a big show. So, let's see here. What do you guys care about? Okay, so we had Kenta defeat Kanemaru in a 96, just a random 96 out there. We had Fujita and Takayama basically have a pride fight, get an 87. We had Jun Akiyama and Shane Douglas defeating Kawada and Samoa Joe in a 97. Sure. I mean, Misawa defeated Mr. Ganasuki, which is just funny because, yeah. Misawa, unfortunately, I think has hit time decline hard. I mean, it's better than he actually ended up, so, you know. And then Kobashi defeated Ogawa in a 98. So, Noah's still doing Noah stuff. We went over what... Let's see here. I thought there was one bit more big show I wanted to show you guys. Iron had a big show. And, yeah, Frank Kazarian versus Shane Ballard. And Albert defeated Madison. Now I forget if I showed you guys this. Did I totally forget to show you guys this? Because I forgot when I actually did the booking. See, this is the downside of doing a recording over 2 days, is you totally forget what you already did. Well, as a reminder, oh, right, I decided not to really go over this because it's a bunch of wacky booking, because I forgot to make it brand dependent. But anyway, Billy Gunn and the Outcast defeated Rico, Sam, and Maven. Ivory retained the women's title in a 4-way. We're going to defeat Rick Steiner. Val Venus defeated Scott Steiner, retaining the IC title in 81. Vampire defeated Kid and Christian. TNA kept the titles by DQ. Defeated APA by DQ, so APA kept the titles. Molly Hall defeated Jackie Aid in 87. Batista defeated Gladiator in 85. Jericho and Benoit teamed up to defeat Undertaker and Big Show in a cross-brand match. And Michaels defeated DDP to retain the world title. Okay, yeah. Again, if I just went over that twice, that's fine. I don't care. And then, yeah, because I did go over Raw. Okay, that's fine. Weird. Okay, and then WC had a big show. Tiger Singh still your WC Universal Champion. Luger's still wrestling there. Outside of that, just a bunch of random more Puerto Rico people. Oh, W had a big show, and oh, I thought that was Shane Douglas, not Steve Douglas. Never mind. That's not as funny. All right, that's it. So not the biggest show. I just again. If I showed No Way Out there twice, so be it. But that's it for now. So if you enjoyed this, go and give it a like. Comment below what you're liking and not liking, and subscribe to the channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content, and hopefully some other stuff as the new year begins. But no promises. But that's all for now, so talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.